First responders in our area will soon have a new tool to help them prepare for all kinds of disasters. Matt O'Donnell got some first-hand experience with the state-of-the-art device, and Matt shares what he learned in this Action News special report.
We were reported with 757 down at the corner of Main and First.
A large commercial airliner crashes in a residential neighborhood.
Starboard wing is detached and on fire. We've got an engine near a residential area.
First responders rush to the scene. The plane is split in pieces. People are injured. A nearby home is on fire. A gathering crowd is getting in the way, and it starts to rain.
We're going to get our hazmat on it as soon as possible.
This is one of 100 different scenarios that can be played out on ADMS, the Advanced Disaster Management Simulator. It was developed at the NASTAR Center, a high-tech company in Bucks County that has developed flight simulators and virtual reality amusement rides. The ADMS motto: virtual threat,
I got a lot of walking wounded here.
Real sweat.
You can do the same incident over and over and over again until you learn the best practices, until you learn your internal processes.
The simulator is designed to train first responders on what to do in the event of a catastrophe. These screenshots are from a scenario NASTAR developed to simulate what happened at Virginia Tech 1 week ago. On this day, I played the role of a fire commander who arrives at a fire scene.
Are my firefighters safe fighting this fire from their location?
I must decide how many engines to deploy, when to conduct a building search, how to save lives. Then I am told there is a suspicious vehicle behind the burning building. I tell everyone to move in. The truck blows up. And
Too close. We're all dead. Too close.
This is a new way of training, but that newness, that novelty quickly melts away as soon as the bomb goes off, as soon as that fire starts and they hear the screams of victims.
the quick decision-making, the lack of good information, the realization that people are either dying, are injured, or are in extreme danger. It can get very stressful for the people participating in this simulator, and that's the idea.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit, and my voice went up an octave or two because once you get immersed in the situation, it's very real, and it adds to your stress.
Local agencies staged a radiological emergency last year at Philadelphia International Airport. NASTAR says such drills can cost up to $200,000, about the price tag for an ADMS, including the training, and you can use it again and again. The Bucks County Emergency Management Agency has purchased one for that very reason. It will go into service by the summer. In Southampton Township, Bucks County, Matt O'Donnell, Channel 6 Action News.
And we invite you to learn more about the simulator and experience for yourself some of its training scenarios by going to 6abc.com. Simply follow the links contained in Matt's special report.
Through new technology, there is now a way to train for the unthinkable. A special report now from E! News correspondent David Martin.
Thanks, Brad. Biological attacks, suspicious packages, and heightened security checks are now part of our reality. And as you're about to see, that has Orlando's own security forces getting ready for the worst.
Dispatch, this is Kissimmee. We've got a major explosion on this aircraft. We believe it's been hijacked. We cannot ascertain if there are any people on board the aircraft.
It's just an exercise using virtual reality. But in the wake of September 11th, watching it puts you on edge.
Dispatch, notify the FBI that we have a hostage situation.
This man is yelling at the ADMS, the Advanced Disaster Management System. Think of it as a virtual reality movie theater that puts you in complete control of managing nightmarish situations.
The complexities of an incident are larger than life, and that makes it very, very difficult to train for it.
ETC designed this thing to train rescue commanders in all kinds of disaster scenarios: chemical, industrial, natural, and terrorist.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Man, did we think that we were going to have the September 11th event? I don't think anybody could have imagined that that was going to happen.
For 5 years, John Shanley has been fire chief for the Orlando Sanford International Airport. He and his crews have used the ADMS extensively because mock-up drills in the field are difficult to orchestrate. They're costly, adding wear and tear to vehicles.
We can't go out there every single day and perform major exercises.
ADMS lets Shanley address 3 major issues that can cause problems in real-life disaster response.
Wind change, weather, and people. People change, people do the strangest things in emergency situations.
With the push of a button and the pull of the joystick, ADMS can generate any kind of scenario imaginable, and the unpredictable outcomes are determined by student input and real-time physics.
Looking for the passenger, looking for the package that might be not in its right place, the suspicious package.
Students in the so-called hot seat interact one-on-one with computerized people on the screen. People who may or may not be programmed as terrorists.
What the person is wearing, if they're wearing the right badge for that location, if they're in a secure, unsecure area.
Dispatch all possible resources to this location. It's one that's gone bad.
And the ADMS, again, which was developed in Orlando, is being used all over the country. Chicago O'Hare, Charleston International, Minneapolis St. Paul International, Miami, and Orlando International, just to name a few. And in 2 weeks, Osceola County will be using ADMS to test its readiness for
slid
terrorist.
along the guardrail on I-4 near Fairbanks, burst into flames. Dozens of firefighters and rescue crews called to that scene. Well, today, emergency crews from all over Central Florida gathered to prepare for a scene much like that one, but worse. Imagine a tanker with an unknown material colliding with a passenger train. Dozens injured, the area in absolute panic. Luckily, today's was only a drill. Lisa's here to show us how new technology available to rescue crews will save lives. Lisa, fill us in.
Well, Mike, Central Florida counties perform these disaster drills to practice for the real thing. Now, usually they're set up in wide open spaces using spare vehicles and plenty of special effects. But today in Osceola County, fire and rescue crews gathered in a meeting room to witness a high-tech catastrophe. It's a familiar sight for paramedics and firefighters, a mock disaster to walk through the paces of a real-life disaster. But this time, the crisis is on the big screen, and decisions are made by voice command alone.
Squad 1 back to command. We need to go ahead and increase our evacuation distance to 2.4 miles.
Crews will tackle a virtual reality collision between a passenger train and a tanker truck carrying unknown hazardous materials. A fire is raging and time is of the essence. The software allows for a far more elaborate disaster than local agencies could produce or pay for.
It's hard to have a mock because of the amount of money and the amount of resources you would have to take. How do you lay a tanker over on its side and actually burn it and have rail cars lined up and turned over? You know, it's just too much money.
The state-of-the-art exercise is the brainchild of environmental tectonics, who designed the program with authenticity in mind.
We have created a virtual environment. It's reality-based and it's high fidelity. And so the models in that virtual environment act like the real models. The fires really burn the way real fires burn. The vehicles operate the way real vehicles operate. The people are modeled to operate like real people.
Crews say it's the most innovative teaching tool they've had and hope that it will provide them with the training they need when faced with the real thing. Pretty cool stuff. 15 agencies participated in today's training exercise, including crews from Osceola, Kissimmee, Orlando, Seminole, and Volusia.
TV 11 Baltimore. Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News at noon.
An airline emergency at BWI Airport this morning, but no one was in danger. Call it a virtual emergency. The Department of Homeland Security and BWI's Fire and Rescue Department tested the state's new virtual reality-based training system. The new technology allows large numbers of airport rescue workers to experience a variety of disasters to better prepare for a real emergency.
On the same day that firefighters announced they're planning to strike, their colleagues in airports have been trying out a revolutionary new disaster simulator. The virtual reality system is being put through its paces at Teesside Airport's Fire Training School.
Teesside Airport and a TriStar charter flight has made an emergency landing, damaging its wing, engine and undercarriage. The plane's on fire with 70 passengers on board. In reality, these incidents are thankfully rare, but virtual reality is helping firefighters from around the world train for a disaster in safe but lifelike conditions.
This is very realistic. It's the first time I've seen it, and it's frighteningly realistic. The noise, the implementation of the rescue was very realistic.
The airport still uses outdoor training for its firefighters, but real fires create pollution and a hazard. The simulator can conjure up any crash scene at any airport in any type of weather and show what happens in a worst-case scenario.
Fortunately, in the aviation industry, accidents like this seldom happen, which is the problem, because where are these guys going to get their experience from unless we can give them something like this to build their knowledge base up with.
The fire training facilities at Teesside Airport are used by 80 countries. Among the group trialling the new system are 2 firefighters from Hong Kong.
Apart from the knowledge learning, say the theory, we can also have some good experience with all the colleagues here, because they are all well-experienced guys.
And the experience this new technology brings could well save many lives around the world.